dear believer of this young AC Milan, 7 times European champions and 19 Italian champions. Welcome back to another video. I want to talk, number one, about Sergio Conceição's words. Number two, I want to talk about the VAR decision. Number three, I want to talk also about Kyle Walker. And number four, I want to talk a little bit about the match against Feyenoord. So let's go. To understand better the words of Sergio Conceição, we need to do a little step back. We need to go back actually at minutes 54, with Tomori is sent off after receiving a second yellow card for a foul on Colombo, who was through on goal. However, there is a suspicion of offside which is VAR cannot check because yellow cards fall outside its protocol, so the booking stands. So they couldn't check, in other words, what I understood is that they couldn't check the VAR because of two reasons. Number one, because the linesman, he didn't call the outside, number one. Number two is because Tomori received a second yellow and not a direct red card. Because if it was called a direct red card, they could double check at the VAR. Because here is always the same story. Okay, now you have technology in football, but how are you going to apply? Are you going to apply it 100% or partially? And if they allowed the VAR to be called, also you can double check this kind of fault over Walker, which is, in my opinion, this is a direct red. It doesn't look at the ball, it's not following the game, it's just direct on the leg. And players can get injured really badly on this. So if there is an option to decide to use VAR fully, everywhere, in every occasion, then I agree. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense having the VAR. What's the point? To be honest, when I saw Tomori going down, I was still furious on Ficaio because, you know, I thought that with the arrival of Kyle Walker, they are both English. Walker can transmit a little bit more of tranquility, a little bit of wisdom to Ficaio. And to be fair, in the last few matches, I saw him playing calming, relaxed, more focused, and it seems like Ficaio was back one of the top central defender that we know from a few years back. We are coming from bad time. We are coming from banter area. So, and we know that to build a team, you need time, you need experience, and you need winning matches. We won 2 matches, one against Roma, that is 10th in the league, and one against Empoli, which is about to get relegated. So I would say calm down, because we haven't done anything, okay? So it's important to have enthusiasm, but it's also important to be objective, because Milan has a lot of things that has to recover, and the mind and mentality is one of them. That's why Sergio Conceição is very important, and I like the words that he used to describe the moment in between the red card of Tomori and the red card for the Empoli's player, okay? Listen up. With the red card of Ficaio Tomori, of course, what you're gonna do is maybe you are removing a second striker. For example, you're substituting Joao Felix and adding Ciao. Instead, Conceição decided to do something that I was not expecting. He played for 10 minutes without a central defender. He moved Kyle Walker, he moved Musa, and he played all counter-attack. So listen up. The temptation at the moment was to take an attacker off and to put a central defender. I didn't do that. I moved Musa to the right, Kyle with Pavlovic, and dropped Joao Felix a bit. I took the risk because I wanted to win. Drawing with the club like Milan, for me, feels like losing 2 points. They are well coached, and I complimented them, but we did our job and brought home the 3 points. And this is the mentality that every single All Hard should have. Milan is not anymore the Milan of 2003 to 2007, okay? The expectations are high, but watch few matches of recent Milan to understand where we are now, okay? So the form of Milan is very important. Numero dos, no number 2, also what is very important, guys, that Milan has been playing every 3 days from half December. So after Christmas, Milan is been playing every 3 days. We're gonna be playing every 3 days until March. So we need a rotation. It is possible that the teams are tired. It is possible that Pulisic and Leao, they're gonna come in the second half because they've been playing every 3 days and they are our best player and you expect something from them, of course. But that's why Conceição is very important and he's gonna let them play only on the second half, when the first, in my opinion, also perfectly, because on the first half you didn't want to concede a goal. In the second half, with the other team a little bit more tired, you play your best, Pulisic and Leao. That was an interesting choice of first half lineup, but I fully approve it. The most important was not conceding a goal. And guess what? This is the first match, guys. Milan ended a run of 6 games in which they had conceded at least 1 goal. The last time the Rossoneri kept a clean sheet in the league was back in December 20. Can you believe it? So for Conceição and mentally having a clean sheet, it was very important, because that's what we brought Kyle Walker for, to teach and to spread the wisdom of defense. It's very, very important, and we go back winning match against Empoli, against Parma, against Bologna, 1-0, 2-0. It's important not conceding a goal, especially in a campionato like Italy, where usually, I think in the last 15 or 20 years, you can double check, but the teams that won the Scudetto, they always have the best defense, not the best attack. On Wednesday, we're going to be playing in Rotterdam against Feyenoord. It is going to be a tough match because Rotterdam, it's gonna be a hard arena to play. It's gonna be the Dutch over there. They're gonna be full of energy. They wanna show that Santi Jimenez did a mistake leaving Feyenoord. Now, and I'm sure definitely they want to score goals, because they know that the next matches they're going to be playing San Siro. They come into our home, so we have to try to win the match. So it's going to be a very, very good match, a classic of Champions League. Feyenoord Milan, okay, on a Wednesday. And the last few matches of Feyenoord, as you can see, Feyenoord won 3-0 against Sparta Rotterdam. They lost against PSV 2-0. They lost against Ajax 2-1. They lost again. This is Lille, I guess. Yes. But they won incredibly 3-0 against Bayern Munich. Let's say they're having a little bit of a mixed season, especially now that in the middle of the January they sold their best what I believe was their best striker. I can see here they are 5th in the Dutch league, led by Ajax and PSV, close by 51 points. As you can see, they lost 4 match, draw 6 and won 11. They scored 46 goals, but they also conceded 26 goals. So it's a little bit, they're having pretty much our season, okay? It's exactly the same season. We have a similar amount of points. I think Milan had 38. So yeah, we're having the same season. This is going to be an important match for both teams to see who actually can step up in the season, for sure. So I'm very, very excited to see the match. I'm very excited to see Milan lately. Of course, I want to see more about El Bebote. Of course, I want to see more about Rafa Leao, about Pulisic. I want to see more about this Milan, because we have a lot of things to do. So other than that, guys, I believe in this young AC Milan. Subscribe to the channel, put a like to this video. I'll see you soon.